I run a marketing agency, and when I started auditing homepages for AI search visibility gaps, I've kept finding the same problem. The pages weren't bad, they were just hard to understand quickly. Too many words, but not enough actually saying what the company does. And that became crucial for me because when tools like ChatGPT or Perplexity recommend a brand, the homepage is often the first where a buyer lands. That is the moment. If that page does not answer the questions fast for a real person and for the systems shaping discovery, you can lose the opportunity to get your client. Hi, I'm Pahuna. I run Lagraphia, a digital marketing agency, and my work sits at the intersection of AI, marketing, and psychology. In the last video, I talked about the psychology of why people choose one brand over another in AI-generated answers. Being mentioned isn't enough, though again, it is the first step to discovery. A real person, though, still has to choose you amongst the different options they get. So today, I want to go one layer deeper, because once someone clicks, your homepage has a job to do. And a lot of homepages, from what I see, need that update for people and for the systems that are increasingly influencing which brands get surfaced in the first place. What I'm going to share is what I've learned from auditing real sites for what I call generative engine optimization. What I'm going to share is what I have learned from auditing my own site and looking at other client sites for AI SEO. The practice of making your brand visible and understandable to AI search systems, not just traditional Google. And your homepage sits right in the middle of that. Let me show you what it actually needs. So here's the simplest test I use. If someone lands on your homepage and is there just for a few seconds, can they answer the 4 basic questions in an easy, scannable manner? Just 4. So let's look at those 4 questions. Number 1, what do you do? Number 2, who is your service for? Number 3, why should a consumer or a potential client trust you? And number 4, what do you do next? Not your full company story, not every single service you've ever offered, not your founding date or your mission statement necessarily, just 4 things answered clearly, immediately, without making anyone work for it. When I applied this principle to my own website, the problem became obvious very quickly. The homepage was trying to do everything, and in doing everything, it was answering nothing quickly. The information wasn't properly chunked in a parsable way, and there was just a lot going on there. So this is a shift that I made, which within a week of landing actually my new website, I got an inquiry from a client who found me on ChatGPT. So when a person lands on your page confused, they leave. When a machine lands on your page confused, it can have a harder time understanding you clearly or surfacing you in the right context. So now with the new shift of AI in digital marketing, you're writing for 2 audiences, and both have low patience and less time. So to answer the question, what should a homepage actually contain? When I am doing sites, I look at 2 layers. The first is the human layer, what people need to understand you fast. And number 2 is the machine layer, what systems need to interpret you clearly. Let me walk you through both. So on the human layer, we're talking about 6 elements, okay? The first element is a clear headline. The headline should say what you do in plain language. No uncertain terms, just plain, simple, clear, specific language. Think of it like the sign above a door. If I can't read the sign, I'm not going in. Number 2, a subhead that adds fit and context. A headline tells me what you do. A subhead tells me if it's for the client or the customer. That's when the right person starts to feel, yes, this might be for me. And a person who landed on your homepage who's probably not the right fit will self-select out. Both outcomes become useful. Number 3, fast proof. People look for reassurance quickly. They want to know whether you're trustworthy or not. Fast proof can show up as credentials, experience, case studies, testimonials, awards, known platforms, a clear framework, visible expertise. Not exactly an overwhelming wall of proof, but just enough to help someone feel they're looking at a real company with real capability. Number 4, clear service structure. Your homepage should be very, very clearly structured and should not make anybody guess. So if you do AI visibility strategy, SEO, website audits, content, or brand positioning, say that clearly, list it, make it scannable. So in essence, your homepage should just not be about a beautiful design, but it should actually convey information in a way people can readily understand. Number 5 is a visible point of difference, or as I've mentioned in one of my earlier periods, like a contrast. Why you and not some other company offering similar services in the same category? What differentiates you? It needs to be specific enough that someone can hold on to it and see the value in your company by itself. A clear point of value gives the buyer something to remember. Value can be forgettable, but when you're specific, it is sticky, it sticks in the memory. Element 6 now, that is, it should feel really easy. That is your homepage. Clear CTAs, make it very, very easy for someone to contact you. Tell people what you do, book a call, request an assessment, watch the overview, start here, whichever way you want to label it, but an easy way for people to be able to get in touch with you. A homepage should reduce hesitation, not create more of it. So the point here is that if I land on your homepage, or a buyer or customer or client lands on your homepage and they don't know what to do next, they'll probably do nothing. And now let's talk about the second layer, which a lot of people can miss, especially with the transition we're seeing with AI. We discussed the human layer, and the next layer is the machines, because a homepage is not only being read by people, it's being interpreted by machines as well. So let's dig into that more and talk about what the machine readable layer is. So when I'm looking at a homepage, and I want to assess whether it is AI readable, machine readable or not, I look at 5 things. Number 1, clear information chunking. So your homepage has to be broken into sections that each do one job: headline, service overview, proof, process, fit, call to action. That kind of structure helps both people and machines follow the page more cleanly. Each section should stand out on its own. Second, explicit headings and explicit language. If your page is full of vague phrases, a human may feel confused. A machine may have a harder time understanding what the page is really about. When language gets clearer, interpretation usually gets clearer as well. Number 3, lower dependence on heavy JavaScript where it isn't serving the content. I'm not saying strip your site down to bare HTML. But the more your core content depends on delayed rendering or unnecessary layers, the harder it can become for some systems to access and interpret the page cleanly. And that includes homepage sections that are carrying the main business message. Number 4 is a clear service definition in the copy. Do not make the machines infer too much. Your copy should be very straightforward, very explicit, very specific, and easy to understand. Machine systems rely heavily on explicit language and page signals. If you never clearly say what you do, who you help, or what the page is about, you make it harder to be understood and matched accurately. That brings me to my 5th point, which is make content that is easy to extract. Shorter sections, readable blocks, strong headings, direct language, clear answers near the top of each section. A homepage doesn't need to say everything, but what it does say should be easy to find, easy to follow, and easy to understand. That's what a homepage working for both humans and machines actually looks like. And then there's one more thing I want to add here. A homepage is not just communicating information, it's also communicating experience. So, design is important out here. Does the design feel clear? Does it feel thoughtful? Does it feel current? Does it feel aligned with the kind of experience your consumer or your client may want to have with your company? That is a deeper question, because buyers do not read design as decoration. They read it as a signal of care, a signal of professionalism, a signal of quality, a signal of whether your brand feels aligned with them. So when I say a homepage should be clear, I mean the whole experience of the page, not just the words. So if you think your homepage and your website in general needs updating, please subscribe. This whole series is about what brands need to know, how to be visible, understandable, and trusted in an environment where AI is often part of discovery before human ever lands on your site. In the next upcoming videos, I'll keep building on this. Quite a few times I've seen a homepage being treated as a brochure, or maybe like a mood board. And that framing can be problematic. A homepage is not supposed to say everything. It is supposed to guide understanding. It should help the right person feel oriented quickly, have them say, yes, this is for me, and I know what to do next, which is going back to CTAs. And it should make the company easier to understand, not harder. The strongest homepages I have seen do not overload. They clarify, they guide, they reassure, they move people forward. And increasingly, they do it both for the human visitor and the machine interpreting the page. If your homepage is doing its job, it is working hard quietly in the background. For every person AI sends your way and for every search moment where your brand gets surfaced. So if your brand is starting to show up more in AI answers, your homepage now has a job to do. It should help people understand you quickly, it should help machines interpret you clearly, and it should create the kind of trust that makes someone want to keep going. In the next video, I'm going to go beyond the homepage and talk about why AI can still recommend brands with weaker websites than yours, and what that reveals about visibility beyond your own domain. I'm Pahuna, and I'll see you again next week.